Hey, and welcome to today's stream. So today I will be checking the last PR that I have done yesterday. We have some reviews there been done and some suggestions, and at the same time I will check one of the code that has that made me like feel a bit of odd when I read it at the beginning of this week. So if you remember at the beginning of this week, we have like implemented the params parser in the app in open source. And for those who are watching this for the first time, open source is a project that's aimed to find great people in the open source community. So today we will just like check that, refactor this, and see what we can do with the review we have gotten in the open source. So yeah, let's share my screen. Here is the screen sharing. I understand. Here's the entire screen. Here's the stuff that we are having. So here is the screen. Okay. So yesterday I opened open source AI. I opened pull request in the open source AI, and as you can see, it's passing, but like we have some requested changes. Let's go and see what kind of changes that have been requested here. So here you can see that Nikki Tyler asked for a refactor, and this refactor requires us to change the class name to query selector, and he asked to change the description generator inside the option that we have, so we don't like generate that. Okay, that's awesome. I think I didn't think about that. We just like could see. Thank you for the suggestions. What I will do right now is just like I will write what made me like decide on this kind of style so that they can understand my reasoning, and then I would just like accept that, to be honest. And the last thing that I could say, yeah, the other thing that I could say is that I could need to change that here when I enable this button too. Like why it failed? The build failed. Undefined is not assigned. So like I'm not sure why this failed. So here we see أهلا وبعده. بالمناسبة بعد هذا البث أنا صاير عم أعمله الفترة الماضية تقريبا كل يوم، هو باللغة الإنجليزية، عم يحكي عن طريقة بث كيف الواحد يساهم البرنامج إمنيات مفتوحة الأصدار بشكل آه بث مباشر بدل ما يكون بس تسجيل، وتشوف العملية كلها بالحقيقة بس هو بالإنجليزي. Okay, so this failed, I think, like something from those lines. I will check that later, but I will need to finish this. comment here. Uh, I will just accept that. Refresh and try again. Why didn't I accept it? Because the lines are deleted. يا أهلا وسهلا، شكرا. And التسجيلات كلهم مسجلين، تلاقيهم بالبث. قناة اليوتيوب بقائمة البث المباشر في تقريبا 6 أو 7 تسجيلات لحد الآن موجودين بالتويتش. uh, okay, for English speaker I just like explain the situation for Arabic speakers and what you are doing. Okay, I'm not sure why GitHub doesn't accept that, but what we can do is to go to our this. What is this? What you can do is to go back to our extension here, open it, and apply the changes, which is those. They removed the action bar class name. What I need to do right now is to go to that this, yeah, show PR suggestions, which is this branch, and go to add PR, and here we have that. What he's suggesting to is to first description. So he changed the class name and we made it as query selector. Okay, this like removed these 2 lines, and this as well. We don't need this right now, and this had removed. He with this line of code, he removed like 1, 2, 3, 4 lines, as you can see, which is like it's been unnecessary right now for that. And then what he did is he removed this line and this line. Why I had this before? I didn't have. Okay. And then he just like created that line here and added there. For the check, he checked if it's like if it's this element is available, and if we have that here, okay. So we'll just remove that. This is like checking if this element is available or undefined, and then this checks if that AI description hasn't been added. So sure factor code. Here we just like sync that. I'm not sure why I had that code, to be honest. I think I had that because like last time when I pushed the last version of the code, it was having, yeah, I pushed something extra here. Uh, yeah, it was when I removed the for loop last time. I added some extra code that unnecessary. Okay, div. What you need to do is just like check this before moving forward and then going back to that. So here we get that, we push that, we have that running right now. We need to check this. We need to refresh our extension. It should do, didn't work. When we refresh our extension, we need to have it working. Let's refresh it again. I think it's working right now. It should be. Yeah, it's working. Here I just requested the review from Nick Tyler, and we'd like to continue. Just signing into this. Yeah, so we are signed in right now, and we could go and check the pull request, see how things will go for us. If I want to open a new pull request, we'll check this. And yeah, here we have that, which is working perfectly. But like the description is not working because of the API. Let's see the error that I'm getting from that. Hmm. This is because of beta? No. I'm not sure if we have broken something in the API, but like, yeah, I'm getting to the same situation here. I'll just get this here. We'll add that to our. So right now this pull request is ready to go, but we have um linting code. Okay, we have the format issue. npm run format. By running this, we will have the code standards applied by using ESLint, and then we will move forward with this. Hmm. Let's see what we have done beside this one. Here I have added the extra options, which is like, I would like to continue this after getting this one merged. So we will have those kind of codes unnecessary being done. I'm not sure if this is the perfect situation to do that. Here we have someone commented on this AI stable description. He said specific errors in the console, asked for that. And we could just like share the error message. Mm, I'm sharing these errors and what we could wait. I don't want this one. I wanted to, did I close this? I think I closed that. And then let's go to pull requests. Since the format has been done, I could just like go and yeah, so just like a spacing here that has been added. We'll just push the format while we're waiting. We will go here. And for this one, I will just like go. I think this one was like the thing that I'm testing and see the error again. This time it didn't give an error. Okay, that's interesting. It's working. Here we have the request. And we are waiting for it to answer our situation. But like, so here I just like explained the situation that I have and and how that I couldn't reproduce it or have like a solid case for. Okay, it works right now. If I open it again, it works. Yeah, not sure what is the reason here. Because like it's the same thing, but like sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes it's just like telling me this weird error, which is like, today I get this error, which is, and I have this weird error here. Okay, I think like This is a bit odd here. I'm not sure how to understand this edge case, but like I will keep it. I will keep my eye on that. So the other thing that we could do today is just okay, after we have refactored that code, I think I could I would prefer to have that after getting that code merged, so this would be like showing a different logic, but like, or it could, I could add it to that as a pull request, not as a pull request, as yeah. So okay, I will move forward right now to the other part of the refactoring that I want to do, which is if you remember. Oh, by the way, I forgot to write that what we are going to do today. Yeah, so here I'm just going to have day 6. What was the style that I have done here? I think I need to add an issue template for this one, which could make things easier. Okay, so the goal focusing on factoring and reviewing the previous PRs, related issues. I need to open a new issue for the refactor that I'm planning to do right now, which is going to be an open source app. And this is related to Windows, but with, I think, larger than something. Why didn't I see it? Windows inner width, right? Yeah, this one. Where is it? Yeah, here. I want to refactor this code. Copy permalink, issues. Let's add as a feature request. Factor the. What does this code do? This was like at focusing on the highlight input action. Okay, so for those who are joining for the first time, on previous stream, which was on, let me see, I think on the first stream that I have worked on this kind of issue related to params in the open source app, and at that time I just like saw this kind of code block that was really confusing to read. And today I will just like open a PR to refactor that code to more understanding a better one, so we could have it there, and you could see what we could do there. So yeah, let's get back to this. The issue that I faced like here is that the code is using the same logic twice, and it was hard to read because like you have the same logic, same lines, but like doing the same thing for unnecessary reasons. And here we would just like need to improve that. uh, for highlights using query params. Okay, so this is the issue that I would like to work on it today. refactoring issue. Just give me a second. So this refactor will. Okay, so this refactor will, we will check this one and then apply the changes and revisit. I would like to revisit. Yeah, I already did that. This and this issue here. And the output will just like keep it empty. The learning outcome will keep it that empty and we'll just like move forward. A good thing for me here is that to not like get, okay, this is a bit confusing. To not get like an error like what I have done right now, which is like I just, instead of having that in a new issue, I removed the code, removed what I have been done in the previous issue, is to have a template for the issues here, which could like improve the quality and life and make it easier. So we would just like go and add that template in a few minutes. I just like need to get those stuff first. Why I didn't? Okay, I need to get those. I think, yeah. Do we have? Can't. No, I just uh, check. Yeah, so have those here. Here. Yeah, so it would be great to have an issue template for this repo. And to add an issue template, we will go to the documentation so we could see how we do that. Just removing, closing the stuff that's not necessary to have it here. Paper request, enable description, this one, and here. Okay. So we could just like, just let me check why this is not. Yeah, this hasn't been uploaded. Okay, I will cut like the live stream part and add it as a video here when I finish the live stream, since it's the beginning of the first 30 minutes. And let's just add it as a comment. Need to add it from live stream first 30 minutes. Okay, I will just like add it later. Just having that as a placeholder, and when I finish this live stream, I will just like go and record the screen and have that stuff and cut like that part and then share it there. So okay, when we have that here settled already for the extension, I will go back right now to the refactoring part. As for refactoring, I will just like go directly from this, go to Insights, and open this folder here. I'm just opening the issue right now. So here, there is the two things that I would consider when I want to refactor something that's been in a project, which is like two laws. One of them is like the first law, which is like I think the fence law. Uh, in programming, I don't remember the full name. It's like a principle, like yeah, this one I think it's Jefferson fence principle, which is the main goal of this, like is telling you that before changing that code you need to understand what's happening here, so you don't change something that you don't understand. And that's makes sense because like sometimes you might remove a code that you don't know what kind of side effect that has or where it's used, and when you remove that it will just like get everything broken. And the other law that I would like to consider here, which is like the Scout law, which is like keep the place cleaner than what you have seen, which is like what we are doing right now, which is like improving the code quality of what you are having. This kind of law is just telling you if you are coding something and then you see an issue at that code base, you just like improve that issue when you are improving that and just move forward, which is like Scout laws, which they are an awesome organization, by the way. And here, let's just like go and check that Scout learn programming. Always leave the code better than you found it. The Boy Scout rule. Yeah, so this is how you see that. Okay, so while I'm considering those two in my mind, I will just like move forward and refactor this. So basically, what we are having here is we have this focus thing, and then this is checking if it's like Windows inner, it's been used once, and we have that code being here. So what I would like to see if we have similarity, which is like this part of the code is kind of identical to this part, but like we have the extra mobile here, which is, to be honest, I would prefer to see why we have like a different thing for mobile and highlight and desktop. But like right now, we will have that mobile and will not go and distract myself. And then here, this kind of checking is the same with this one, but like just like the different naming, because this is checking this if it's here or not, and here it's the click is the same and the clear interval the same. The only difference we have here is this kind of focus part, which it's as they mentioned is unnecessary. So to start with, I would just like go with let is desktop. I would just like go and have that here, and I would just like add it here. So this like makes sense a bit of easier to read. And the other thing that I could do is having this kind of code directly the focus and just like improve that. So highlight input. So if it's desktop, which is like this logic here, we will have that is desktop. Otherwise, we will have this one. Yeah. And I don't think that we need to create this always, so we could just have it on the top. And I could, yeah, so we just have that on the top. And then here, the other stuff is kind of identical. but just like we have this extra button here, which is like it's working, or extra logic here, it's working on if it's desktop. So I just like go and write is desktop, and I don't think that it will be accepted. Yeah, it's accepted. If it's desktop, then we will have that forecast. If not, it will just like move forward. And here we don't have anything extra, so I could just like remove this part of the code, improve that. The other thing that I could do is we don't need to like right now we don't need to have this anymore. So just like apply it directly. And since this code is kind of too long, what I could do is divide that to have it as const highlight selector, and instead of having all of this, yeah, we'll have that highlight create input, which is the class, and here we have that, which is the ID, and here we have the ID, and we could just like remove this and have it as document with query selector, and we have that selector. Here we are having that because like it's expecting it as an element, but like I am expecting it to be a create input. So HTML input element, if we add that option, which if it's in the HTML element input element, it will be easier. It will solve that issue. So let's go back here. We are checking if it's desktop. If it's that, we will have input. If not, we will add that here. And I think we could, yeah. So that's it. I think I could, hmm, we could have like instead of having this of like long create like what we have right now is this highlight create input is written the same as here and here. Is I could, I think, have this as template and write is desktop. It's not desktop. It should add the mobile. Otherwise, it will be just like this highlight here. So this is if not desktop, we'll have that run at the beginning. I'm not sure about this to be honest, because would this turn it as like a true if it's on desktop? Let me check that. Have it as a true. Yeah, it will be added as a true or false. If it's that, it will be added here. Bam, bam, bam. Could I? So this is because like since this is the first thing that has been, if we go with or it will not work. Bam, bam. What I could do is instead of having that here is if it's desktop, it will return nothing. Otherwise, it will have that input there. Yeah. So we could just like have it as Serne here. So here, if it's true, we will have the mobile. If it's false, it will have nothing. So we have this kind of Serne like three options. And yeah, so by doing this, we could have that as one line instead of having it for like multiple lines. And right now, if you go and check that, you could just like read it in easier way. And here, if it's desktop, you could see that selector is having like desktop and mobile, different selectors, and we are using that selector here. Then we see that if the new highlight generated and the input is there, it will click that. If it's in desktop, it will focus on it. Otherwise, it will just like move forward. And we have the clear interval after if this worked. And then we have that working for every second, which is, I think I'm satisfied with the result right now. Yet the other thing that I was curious about is just get back this area here. Uh, I Why don't we have that anywhere? The highlight create input, and the other one is called like mobile high. Yeah, one. Okay, the other difference is like one of them is called create input, the other difference is create button. Why do we have like this two difference here? And here I think this is like a div acting as a button. It's a button. So to go with my logic, I could just like go add highlight create. Do we have anything else ready to create? Nope. It's just like one of them is bottom and the other is just like do this here. Highlight create, button highlight create input. I could just like remove that and see we don't have any other highlight create. Okay, right now we have just like those three, but like we don't have anything else in the app with the same ID. So this is okay. And let's just check that again. Yeah, so right now I'll just like go with format the code. npm run format. Why do I have that right now? Okay, because I have an updated version of TypeScript. I'll check that later. But like, yeah, when we get this format stuff, let me see. Why do we have a lot of them? Which is like mostly warnings. we have one error. Yeah, but like there is nothing in the code that I have done, like which I think I could. What we could do is to check the beta and update that there. And I think like this code is not. Yeah, so right now what I would like to do is just like to commit this and push this code to GitHub. But like there is two things. Since I was developing on this before, I'm in a new branch right now, so I could like create a different branch so that I don't get like stuff mixed, and I need to see if my origin beta branch is that up to date with the one we have in the app, which I don't think it's up to date for me to be honest. Yeah, it's not up to date because like they are moving too fast. So just like update that branch here, go back to that here, and let's see. I could stash the changes that I have. Stash is an option that will let you remove the file or working directory that you are having right now and save them. Then you could like play around with Git and then get those files back again. So what I would like to go here, the stash, is to go to beta. And here we are up to date right now with that latest stuff. And I could get git stash pub, I think. And here we have this code getting back again to us, which will have the this change that we have done only for like we and what we did. And yeah, so I think this is ready for me to go and push it. But like what I need to do is to have a new branch here so that we don't do anything in the original like branch development or yeah branch, so we could have like an easier way to check that stuff. Refactor, what is it called? Highlight input. Refactor create highlight. I will just create that branch, have this stuff pushed to that branch. Sure, refactor code. Here we have pushed that, and right now we could see it on. There's something that I missed after like refactoring it, which is like testing the work, like the code, which we will have like with npm run dev. We're on the server. Hopefully, it will not take much time, and we could test it. So here we are waiting that. We will have it running and test that on our live stream. Okay. So I think it was like on feed new true. So if we click that feed new true here, we could see the code that we are working with. How did I know this kind of line here? It's because I have developed that before, but like in short, if you go to the index, you see that it's pages feed. And this kind of code here is working with new highlight which is like available. So this is like when you have a parameter called like new. So that's why we have this here. I think I need to move to code spaces. Using code spaces could make this stuff faster, but like I'm not sure about the limits. Yeah, but like it will be great to go there. So here we see that code that we are having. It worked and it opened the page, but like it didn't open the new option. New equal true. Hmm. Let's see. Do we have anything broken in the console? We have a lot of errors here, but like, which one is related to me? Highlight input form TypeScript. What I would expect is to have this here, like with the IDs. You haven't changed the IDs, we haven't changed. Okay, the other way that we could do is to add a debugger here. Let's close others. I'm still not sure how to get out of that tree in another way. Will this run here? Let's refresh that. Yeah, here we have the debugger. And here we have the new highlight, it's true. And here we have the inner width, which is like more than 668, 768. And here we are getting the query select, the highlight selector. Yeah, so the highlight selector is not selecting anything because for a very, very simple reason, I didn't add the dot or the hashtag at the beginning of it, which is like the selector that I'm having. Okay, so this is like a reason on why you need to test your code before pushing it to development or anything else. So I think we don't need. Let's keep that right now for the debugger and just like close this, refresh the page, and see the result. And it didn't work again. So let's enable the debugger and debug that. Here, the last thing that I was checking, I need to see this selector, which is highlight create as expected. And here we could see that if we run that code with the or expected highlight selector, it's giving me a null option Y. Let's go with highlight create. I. It's an ID. I think this is the reason why they had. Let me check. The code that I have changed before. Yeah, so this is the reason why they had that inside the interval. So what's happening here with the interval? Why I move that up? Yeah, that's okay. Here I just like violated my the first law that we were talking about, which is like the shit something fence, and inside the interval they have this kind of checker here always, which is checking this kind of button if it's available or not. And the reason for doing that, I believe, because this way you will detect when the page is loaded, so you have that button there. Otherwise, this code will be run before the page loaded, before that element loaded, and it will not work for this. I'm not sure if there is another good situation right now for that, but like, yeah, I'll just like close those, refresh the page, and wait. And it didn't work, even though we have that inside it. Let's open the debugger again. It worked. Does it only work when it's in focus? Yeah, it's working right now. So yeah, this is the issue that we had, which is like here is a reason on why you need to understand the logic behind that and don't remove anything unless it's necessary. So we could just like remove that. And the other reason here is just like why you need to test that. Sure. Add selector and apply shell loaded. Yeah, so here it is. We have that's working right now. We have it already. We need to just like open it in the insights, which is this. I remember that they used to have that here before for the, and it was like better to get to that area. And here we could just like open a new pull request from our refactor. Why I don't see my thing here? I could go this one. Did I push it? Let's update that. Wait, am I pushing it to beta? Didn't I create a new branch? Yeah, I have created a new branch, but I didn't use that branch. Okay, that's interesting. So we just like push my branch here, and I have it right now. And for the beta, we just like get back to the original one. So before like refactoring, and we could just like for beta to push that, like you need to get push force, which will remove the stuff that you have done from the. Yeah, so here right now we have our branch for the refactor, and you could just like go. Should it be feet semantic versioning? Do we have anything to refactor here? No, so it's semantic versioning. No, it's semantic commit. No, it's conventional commit. I just want to know. Yeah, we have refactor. Factor create highlight. Um, params create highlight logic. So this code refactor the create the new highlight create params handling for new highlights create and highlight the new page. Uh, yeah, so that's it. And here for the related issues that you are having, I could go to this one, close this issue. I didn't do this. Documentation is not needed. And let's go with the GIF refactor. Do you have anything else to refactor? No. Yeah, this is cool. Right now I could just like create a pull request which shows the changes. I didn't go with adding the mobile and stuff like that, so it just like changes this here. I think I could just like even remove the mobile as well. And have removed this kind of extra code here to just like one simple code. And we have a comment. Yeah. The last thing that could we do anything? Yeah, just mm, light create. I think we are having both of them at the same page without conditional logic. Uh, yeah, that makes sense. We have both of those at the same page without that's conditioning them, so that's why we have this. I think we could have conditional rendering here, so we could, and I will just like open an issue for that, or just like just like we'll just like ask that in the PR and wait for a comment from the maintainers, and based on that I would just like go and decide if I should do it or not. And here we finished today. So what we did today, we just like in today's stream it was kind of almost refactoring. So the first part of the refactoring, it was when Nick Taylor asked for a refactor in the code that we are having, and I did that and continued, checked what we have been done here, tested that and everything. And beside that, we just like checked the issue that we are having for the unstable AI description generator, which I need to upload the video later for this. And at the end, I just like went to refactor this kind of code in the app, the main app, and made it easy to read and understand. Because like to be honest, the first time I looked at it, it took me like a few minutes to see what's happening here. And that's it for the end of the stream. So thank you for watching and joining today, and hopefully we'll see you on a new stream. Before finishing this stream, I think the one last thing that we could do is to see 1 hour of open source. So here, the what I was talking about is like having any issues here is much better when you create like when you have like a stable or like the same issue template that you're using from time to time, you could just like have a template that will make it easier for you to write that issue, which we could go and check GitHub issue template, and you can see that here in GitHub they are explaining the situation on how to check that and how to create a template. You could just like go with those options that they are having here, which I will check in a few minutes. And while you are checking that, you could just check awesome GitHub template issue template, which I think you will find a collection of issues. Yeah, here we find a collection of issues and pull requests that could give you a great example. Um, no, so here is the template that they are having. Usually people have a collection of that, and you can just like Google something like related to issue templates and see what's kind of issues that you could use. Those with emojis, some of them without emojis, and stuff like that. So as you can see here, it's a feature request, and with this information here, and you could just like go with your own stuff. But like if you go and check the stuff that other people are doing, you could get inspired from them. So you could just have a great result based on that. And for the issue template right now, what I would like to do is to create a template to see so that I could have something easy for me to do every day. So here I would just like could go to, there is an option that we could go to do that through the settings and go to features setup template. Let's go and see. I think with direction options, yeah, here each features we have the issues. We could write on set up a template so that we could have this done automatically. Here you could see that what other stuff that we have, custom templates or feature request or bug template, and then you could create on, let me see, review that template and edit it. So I will just like remove this bug and this one. I will go with the this. So I would just like click on edit. Yeah, so here I would have like the template name, live stream plan, which is like the one that we are doing today. Describe uh, the description. This is a plan and outcome of live stream of Hadithic live stream. And here, what we could do, I should just assign myself always for this template. Issue default title. Okay, for the title, day, number, and day, a month, year, which is like the title that I would like to have for that, so that I will remember for this what I'm doing. And the last thing is the content of the template itself, which would be the one I did yesterday. Here we go, edit this, get this. So here, the goal of stream related issues, output, learning outcome. And I think I could just like commit change feet at top template, which is like unnecessary to go with conventional comment, but like whatever, extended comment message, I don't need that. I'll just add this and we have the issue template right now. This is like a way to do that, which is like kind of easy way through user interface, but like you can do that like in different ways, which I will discover like in a few minutes. But like to see the result right now, if you go and create any new template, you see that live stream plan, and when you click on getting started, you will see that the stuff that I would write like to write has already been filled, so I could just fill them instead of writing this or copying it from somewhere else. And the other thing way to do that is you can do it with code. So instead of creating that stuff there, you could just like create a folder called .github. Inside that you have issue template, and inside the issue template you will have the name for that template, and then you will write that in YMLL or Markdown, so you could have more stuff that you could do. And if you go it with YMLL, I think it will be like in a form style. And the form style is just like something that will show you the stuff that you are having and what you could do. And instead of having it like as markdown, so this way it will make it easier to have like to make a focused change for that, or make something focused for what you are doing. An example for this one would be the templates that we have in the app at the open source project, which is like if you go to issues, make a new template, and you can click on get bug report, you see that it's kind of a form where you have everything almost ready for you, and it's showing you what's something that you can ignore and something that you cannot ignore, which is like the required and unrequired stuff. And you could just like move forward with this way. This is like how you could create and it's the benefit of that, and how you can check the stuff that you have from the GitHub documentation directly. At the end, they here in the documentation they just explained how you have a chooser, and if you need to have a blank template. So yeah, here is today's stream, and we are at the end of it. Thank you for anyone and everyone who joined today, and hopefully we'll see you on a new stream tomorrow with new features added to. Just let me close this one with the new features added to the Chrome extension, and with new things to learn together on the way, like the issue template and everything else we had today. Thank you again for everyone who's watching, and see you later.